Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we've traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
I call this found object jewelry. I've always enjoyed hunting, the hunt, always like beachcombing or going to garage sales or flea markets. So I've collected quite a bit of materials. When I was a child, I made jewelry I had a cigar box and I would string it and weave beads, little seed beads in it. And I also recall my favorite gift ever, I think, was a little trinket kit, and it was for copper enameling. It was a little teeny kiln, and you just sprinkle your copper enamel on it and cook it in this little kiln and glue on a little pin back, and you had a gift or something to wear. I start with no thought in my head, just a blank head, and I just manipulate the objects, and they basically speak to me. Recently, I found an adding machine, an old adding machine in a store. It was $10, and I pillaged it, and I so far used some of the pieces for little legs, and they have little numbers on the bottom of them. Someone saw a piece of mine that had a lot of buttons in it, and she called me up, just a total stranger, and she said, "Would you like my button collection? I've had it here, I don't know what to do with it, and I think you can make use of it." And she gave me these large bags of antique buttons, 3 bags of it, and it was like heaven for an artist. I see it as them being part of my artwork. They're sort of my scouts. When they see the piece on me and they recognize, "Oh, that's what I gave you," it's just, I see them smile, laugh, and they get a kick out of it. So I feel they're part of it. Picasso certainly has used a lot of his famous bicycle handles for his bull and the bicycle seat. Degas also, he used a real tutu in his famous Dancer. These little teapots. I'm always looking for arms, hands, and legs for my people, my special people, I call them. I said, "Aha, I'm a little teapot, short and stout." These are the legs from my adding machine, so they are all kind of odd. I call him Beach Bum. I actually made him on the beach. He's made from a clothespin and a sugar doll sugar pot, which is upside down. And then I started getting into making her a little bag and a little bikini. I was sitting on the beach, and somehow, just automatically, I started making her a bikini. People find them humorous. I'm not even sure why. I guess they're just surprised to find an object used in a very different way. This piece is just called Blue Necklace. It's made with 2 buttons. This is a typewriter ball from the old typewriters. I just put it into a bezel. Made quite a few pieces with car lights. It's I guess they're the brake lights in a car. So I started picking them up and realized how strong they are and what a beautiful material it is. I in general don't discriminate between a diamond and a piece of plastic. And they have color already in them. They have lots of texture. This is 2 hearts that are bound together. I put a little lenticular lens which kisses, so it's a Valentine's. I had run into a very old childhood friend of mine, and she started collecting things for me, and she found this piece here, this wire piece, which I think is quite beautiful. It's a very lyrical line. She was quite ill when I met her this time, and she actually passed away, so I named this piece Diane after her. I didn't want to be an artist who also writes. Someone asked me to write a book. I had, from my craft guild many years ago, actually, my first book, I have 3 books out. Someone was doing a book, and she had written in the Long Island Craft Guild newsletter, if anyone has any ideas, I'd love them to share them. And at the time, I was making things just from like hinges, and I took a vegetable steamer, and I'm kind of embarrassed. They're in her book, so they're very primitive pieces. But then it turned out that she was an agent, and she asked me one day, I got a phone call, would you like to write a book? And I couldn't say no to that, even though in college it was torture for me to write a paper. But by the second book, I found it much easier to write, and by the third book, it was really easy. The underlying message is that almost everything has some other use. And I hate to see things being thrown away, really wonderful materials, wonderful shapes. One of the good things that might come out of this recession is that people might start, thinking twice whether to throw something away just because it has a little scratch in it or something.